All right, let's do this again. Check this out. 1 Samuel chapter 8. The first verse just spoke to me. Now it came to pass when Samuel was old that he made his sons judges over Israel. And so it's not like, listen, when Samuel was young and he was with Eli, right? He's with Eli. He actually heard the voice of God speak to him. You understand that? And so there was an encounter. There was an encounter. What we do is because we're in the family, or we're in a family, we just automatically say, children, you have to serve the way I served. You have to do what I do. Someone has to do it. It should just be you because you're my son. And so just look at that. Just look at that, you guys. That that it says he made them. And it doesn't say anything about he had a dream or he spoke to God again, and God said, Samuel, make your two sons judges. So that stuck out to me. He made his son judges. All right, let's keep reading. The name of his firstborn was Joel, and the name of his second, Abijah. I think that's how you say it. They were judges in Beersheba. But his sons, look at verse 3, but his sons did not walk in his ways. They turned aside after dishonest gain, took bribes, and perverted justice. Then all the elders, look at verse 4, all the elders of Israel gathered together and came to Samuel in Ramah. So these elders are like, you know what? Who's running Israel right now? Who's the prophet of Israel right now? Where's the honesty in Israel right now in the leadership? So look at verse 4. Then all the elders, so the elders got together, they had a conversation, they started talking about this, and they said, you know what? Let's go talk to Samuel. So verse 5, they went to Samuel and said to him, look, you are old and your sons do not walk in your ways. Here we go. Now make us a king to judge us like all the other nations. Look at that. There it goes. It's crazy. So it's crazy that the eyes of the people went on other nations instead of seeking the Lord because of the leadership in Israel, because of the men that were called to walk. I shouldn't say called. The men that was supposed to walk and be obedient to the Lord. They were not. They were selfish and they did things their way, and they took advantage actually of the position that they had in the Lord. I keep saying in the Lord, the position that they had that their father gave them. They took advantage of it, right? Perverted justice. I think verse 3 is like what goes on in America right now, and what America is trying to spread all across the world. Dishonest gain, taking bribes, and perverted justice. So let's keep going. Verse 5. Look, you are old and your sons do not walk in your ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations. So they started looking at other nations. They started looking at other nations, It's like your children. You raise your children. You're called to raise your children. Your children goes to her friend's house, Susie's house, and says, "Wow, Susie's house is amazing. Susie, your house is amazing. We want to live at Susie's house." All right. Here we go. Verse 6. But the thing displeased Samuel when they said, "Give us a king to judge us." So Samuel prayed to the Lord. So Samuel was upset. And the Lord said, verse 7, and the Lord said to Samuel, "Heed the voice of the people in all that they say to you. For they have not rejected you, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign. Look at that I should not reign over them. And this is what people. Oh, my camera just went out. Oh man, I hate that. See if I can get it back. Got the camera back. This is what people do. This is what people do. And I think this is. Oh, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But this is what people do. Verse 7. They look at other nations. They look at other communities. They look at other churches, and they say, we should reign. We need a king. We need a leader like that. We want someone like that. We want to be like that pastor. We want our church to sound like that and prophesy like that and worship like that and do this and do that. We want to. Their eyes are gazing at. Oh my goodness, their eyes are gazing somewhere else. I would say, of course, just like Israel, these people were in sin. You know, they were in sin. They were worshiping idols. If you keep on reading this chapter, but also in the first 5 verses, what really stuck out to me was that the responsibility of Samuel's sons. Anytime they're not walking, you know, I just put this on the men of God. Anytime we're not walking in what we're called to walk in, the people that have an ear to hear and eyes to see us, if we're not walking like we should, they're going to look at another nation. They are going to look at another nation, and they're going to want to go over there because it looks like the grass is greener over there. You know? Here we go. Verse 19. I'm just going down to verse 19. Nevertheless, the people refused to obey the voice of Samuel, and they said no. But they just said flat out no. But we will have a king over us, that we also may be like all. Look at this, verse 20. This is crazy. That we also may be like all the nations, and that our king may judge us and go out before us and fight our battles. So that's crazy. And verse 21, and Samuel heard all the words of the people, and he repeated them in the hearing of the Lord. So the Lord said to Samuel, heed their voice and make them a king. And Samuel said to the men of Israel, every man go to his city. So that's just crazy, man. That's just crazy. And this is what people do now. This is what people do now. It's like you have the opportunity to hear from God. I mean, even some of the pastors are telling people, read your Bible, you know, pray, you know, study, hear from the Lord. You can hear from the Lord yourself. But people are just prone to going to a service, hearing someone speak, leaving service, going to get their chicken, going to get their whatever they're eating, and they're satisfied. And, you know, so I think that's all I got. You know, one of the most important things that really stuck out to me was Samuel's sons that acted just like Eli's sons that was killed. Samuel's sons did the same exact thing. They was filled with corruption. You know, and their leaders are called to be leaders. They're called to steward what was in their hand. So, all right, God bless. Thank you for listening. Peace.